Hey guys, what's going on? Aaron Bennett here. So I am going to go over the Celsius NovaWulf plan. I'm also going to go over what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and all the hesitations and issues that I have with this plan. So a lot of you guys have gone over this already, and I have covered this or I've shared other videos about it, but I will just go over the highlights of this plan. So for earn creditors, if you have less than 5,000 bucks, you'll get a 70% recovery paid in Bitcoin, ETH, and stablecoins. If you have over $5,000, you can opt into the convenience class by reducing your claim to $5,000. So let's say you have basically $6,000. In that situation, it would make sense to reduce your claim to $5,000 so you can get 70%. Because if you have over $5,000 in earn, you will be in this class where you will get less liquid crypto, but you will get equity share tokens and management share tokens. So 85% of earn creditors will be in this convenience class, and they will get 70% of their crypto back. Now, this is at the time of petition, so this is not what it is in your account right now. This is at the time of bankruptcy petition. So right now, we're thinking that we'll get maybe 20 to 30% recovery in liquid crypto for people who have over $5,000 in earn. That's not that much. That's 20 or 30% versus 70% if you are under $5,000. And there's a reason for that. It's called a cram down. Basically, they're going to incentivize over 85% of the earn account creditors to approve this plan, because they are going to say, hey, we're going to give you 70% back, and then the rest of the people are kind of not going to get a great plan, and that is what we are negotiating. So I will say right now that this is just a preliminary plan. This is not finalized, and all the different ad hoc groups are negotiating these terms. The SEC needs to approve it, and the judge needs to approve it, and then the creditors need to approve the plan. So how is this NewCo going to make money? Well, they'll be doing direct staking like with staked ETH. They're going to have a mining operation, which one of my problems with that is the fact that this is a forced investment, not like with Simon's plan, where we are getting all of our liquid crypto back, and then we can decide if we want to actually get equity in this company. And they also have the existing retail and institutional loan portfolio, which I will cover a little bit later. And potential future business lines, they can do all these different things, basically saying that, hey, this company is going to be a company that's going to be around for 5 to 10 years, which, as I'll talk about, is very important for the people with loans. So we have NovaWulf. This is the plan partner. They were founded in 2022, so a brand new company. They have actually been buying Celsius claims. So yes, they have a lot of experience in distressed investing. And they're also involved with Marathon and TeraWulf, Marathon being a very popular Bitcoin mining company. Now, Figure is something that is a little bit interesting, which I'll cover, and they are powered by this blockchain called Provenance, which basically nobody has ever heard of, but they are SEC registered, which is a big deal. And here is the management for NovaWulf and Figure. Now, I have a lot of issues just with trusting people right now. So we have Mike Cagney on the bottom. Let's take a look at Matt Cagney. He steps down abruptly, facing allegations of fostering a toxic culture. He steps down as the CEO of SoFi. Then we have Mike Cagney saying, your bank is not your friend. Where have we heard that before? Well, it is with Alex, as many of you guys know. So what's important about this Provenance blockchain is that this is where these EST and MST tokens will trade, and this is what the earn creditors will get. So they are a federally licensed custodian. Again, they're using Provenance as their blockchain. This is where you will trade the EST and MST tokens. Apparently, Figure can support NewCo's retail loan portfolio, but right now, they don't publicly have information that they can support international loans. Again, I'll cover that a little bit later. So talking about mining, well, there's going to be a $50 million investment into the mining, and that is going to come from the estate, meaning that is going to be money that is not paid out to us. This is going to be a forced investment into mining. And the Bitcoin will be distributed to creditors via dividends. So the Bitcoin is not going to be held inside this mining company in order to grow the value of this mining company. It is going to be given to the earn creditors via dividends. So the NewCo will be owned by the earn creditors through this equity share token. And they will file financial statements, annual reports, and other SEC reporting requirements. requirements, and this is very good. The board of NewCo will be comprised of 7 members with no prior Celsius involvement. That is very important as well. 2 directors appointed by NovaWulf, 2 directors appointed by the UCC, and 3 independent people that the UCC and NovaWulf have to agree upon. And that's really important because the directors of this board are going to be critical in the success of this company, which is literally the only way that earn creditors have a chance of being made whole. Because again, the estimate right now is about a 20 to 30% return of liquid crypto to earn creditors with over $5,000. That's not much. With Simon's plan, it was like 47 to 50% return back based on the coin reports, but because we are involuntarily investing into the mining and into this new company with creditor money, with the estate's money, the return of crypto to earn investors is a lot less. So let's talk about loans for a bit. We have treatment A, which has its problems, and treatment B, which is the Tomahawk option, which I'll cover. So treatment A is basically after 5 years, you'll get 85% of your collateral returned to you. Now, what David Adler is making sure of is that this is going to be the actual coin balance, not the USD value at petition. So if you had 1 Bitcoin as collateral, right now, per this plan, after 5 years, you would get 0.85 Bitcoin back. You would be giving them essentially 0.15 Bitcoin or 15%. All existing collateral is swapped into ETH during this term. So the joke is that everyone with loans has become forced ETH Maxis under duress. Essentially, all of your collateral is being converted or swapped into ETH. There is no prepayment option, which is a problem for a lot of people. People don't want to trust that NovaWulf is going to be around for 5 years. This is a startup, and most startups do not last 5 years. And the interest rate will be the market rate of around 7.5 to 12.5%. And the Tomahawk option, treatment B, is the collateral minus the loan balance, and whatever that is will go into earn as an earn claim. So most people are probably going to be choosing treatment A, but again, if you are in loans, definitely join the Celsius Loans Telegram and follow Celsius Loans on Twitter. I'll include everything below. So let's talk about custody for a second. Custody guys are going to get 72.5% back. Now this is paid in crypto. So this is actually a pretty good plan for what it is. And this does not include pure custody and transferred custody below 7575. So what that means is if you have pure custody, which is a very few amount of people, you can have $1 million of pure custody, you're going to get that all back. If you have normal custody or transferred custody, I should say, and if it is below $7,575, you're also going to get all of that back. This is for people that have custody, let's say $1 million of transferred custody, which means it was an earn and then it went to custody. That is going to give you 72.5% back for this plan. And by them giving you 72.5% back, Celsius is dropping the preference claim, meaning they can't come after the rest of your money for retail clawbacks, which I'll get to in a moment. So let's talk about this litigation trust. This is what is going to go after Alex, Daniel, and other insiders to get their money. It's also what is going to go after retail people as well if they continue with retail clawbacks. We know that Voyager wanted $68 million to fund their litigation trust. We do not know how much money they want for it, but it may be more. And this is talking about the retail clawbacks. So it says the debtors will waive preference claims, meaning they can't claw back your money, against any non-insiders, so that would be yourself, who vote in favor of the plan and have aggregate withdrawals less than a certain threshold, which we do not know yet, but we will know before we get to vote in the 90 days before the petition date. So we do not know what the aggregate withdrawal threshold is, and we will know soon, and that will be very, very important if that affects you, which it may. And they want this to be over end of June. And here on March 8th, there is a motion to consider the request for the extension. So the extension as of now has not officially gone forward, and it may not, meaning this plan may not go through. And if it doesn't go through, most likely we will have one more plan, and if that doesn't happen, possibly a full liquidation. So on March 8th, the judge will decide whether this 44-day extension is going to be approved. So let's take a look at Provenance blockchain really quick. So you can see here, this is their blockchain that nobody knew existed. It is built on Cosmos. And what's interesting are the top 10 validators. Now, I don't recognize most, but I do recognize Morgan Creek Digital with Mark Yusko and I believe Anthony Pompliano. So these are hedge funds, I believe, or at least Morgan Creek Digital is, as the validators. So let me just go over some concerns that I have with this plan that I haven't already covered. So NovaWulf is using this private blockchain that again is built upon Cosmos, and to my knowledge, they've never done a security token, and you'll have to use their own stablecoins. And really, we don't think there's going to be enough liquidity to sell if people want to sell without the price going down. There is not what is called a buyer of last resort. Basically, a buyer that says, hey, we will buy all of the tokens or all of these equity shares or whatever you want to call it at a certain price, so the price will not go below a floor. We don't have that right now. And also, it's interesting that if we go through a massive bull market, we're actually going to get less coins back, because that 70%, for example, for the convenience class, that is on the day that they buy the coins back. And ultimately, a bull market is not going to give us more money back right now. Ideally, we would actually see the price of crypto stay the same or go down. Now, I believe the reason is because the Celsius estate has a lot of stable coins. So they're going to have to buy crypto to give back to us, and that is the crypto that is going to basically be the equity as well. So we want those stablecoins to go as far as possible. So we are kind of hoping that a bull market does not happen right now. Now, a bull market would be good for the mining part of the equity, which we would get dividends from the Bitcoin being mined, but I believe that's about it. So regarding clawbacks, there could be something arranged called a soft clawback, which essentially would be people, possibly like myself, who took out a lot of money in the 90 days before bankruptcy. We agreed to put that money onto the platform for a year, and then after a year, we can take all that money off. Now, this may be something to avoid having the litigation trust really go after retail users. But again, all of this stuff will come out once the disclosure statement is released and we get all the details, which I will obviously be covering and sharing with you. So let me finish the video going over some things that I don't like, and then I'll end the video on a positive note. So the first thing I don't like is retail clawbacks. That directly affects me. Just full transparency, you can see it in the SOFA statements, and retail clawbacks would really mess up this entire industry. The downside is that unlike Binance that would want to keep us happy customers if they bought our crypto, NovaWulf really doesn't have an incentive to keep us happy, because they are basically just a hedge fund, and if we leave, and they don't really care. I don't like the forced investment into the NewCo and mining company. I and everybody else, I believe, would have much more preferred Simon's plan, where we get all of our liquid crypto out immediately, and then we can basically decide voluntarily to invest in a new company. I also don't like that we aren't getting equity, but we're getting tokens that will most likely be very illiquid and hard to sell. I don't like that we're most likely getting between 20 and 30% back for earn creditors over $5,000. That is a lot less than Simon's plan, for example, that we were getting around 47%. Also, there is a high chance this company fails, which is not good for any of us, especially the people with loans. And taking a look here, this is interesting. So White & Case, this is the law firm representing the UCC, advises a new public decentralized blockchain for financial services. This is May 2021, and what do you know? It is Provenance blockchain. So is this a conflict of interest? I don't know, but maybe. And also remember that the UCC was the one that approved this plan, or they were the ones that should be doing the due diligence into NovaWulf. And remember that White & Case of the UCC did the due diligence for WestCap. Now, WestCap invested close to $750 million into Celsius in 2021. So White & Case may not be the best person or the best company or firm to do due diligence. questions. All right, so let me finish the video with what I like and the hope for this project. Well, we have something to work with, which we didn't have 2 weeks ago, which is good. Now, Simon Dixon said that he made most of his money investing in private equity. There's a chance that this company could be enormous. The downside is that people that originally invested in Celsius did not do so to invest in a very high risk, potentially high return play. We thought that this was safer than a bank, that there was basically no risk. So this could do incredibly well. We could all be made 100% whole. And again, Simon said that he made most of his money doing private equity like this, but it's also just not what people signed up for. So guys, that is it for the video. We are waiting for the disclosure statement to be revealed before we vote on this. And again, this has to be approved by state regulators, the SEC, and the judge. We have the loans arguing for their case. We have people who own Cell Token saying, hey, this should not be valued at the price of the pre-IPO at 20 cents. So there's a lot that will be changed before we get the final plan. I will include below the Telegram groups for the different ad hocs. So if you want to fight against retail clawbacks, I'll include that. I'll include the link for loans and all the other ones that I have, because you really want to follow this case regarding what category you are in. Other than that, guys, I will end the video here. I'm sure this video is way too long. This is way too much information in one video, but I wanted to just come on here. I've been traveling a lot. Right now I am kind of in the middle of Texas, so I was putting out those videos earlier of just cutting up the UCC's talk on Twitter just because I wanted to get the information out to you, but I haven't been able to make a video up until today. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.